Hey there, and thank you for joining us for the third segment of our True Talk Thursday podcast. Before we do turn to Dr. Maria Armstrong and Dr. Atiba-Weza to continue the conversation tonight, I want to remind you all if you do like what you hear and want to learn more, then feel free to subscribe below or tune in next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. We thank you for joining.
We left off on, recognizing that Scholastic's been around for 100 years. Atiba, what do you got to say about that before she answers that question?
About Scholastic having been around for 100 years?
Yeah.
Well, any company that's in our field that stays around for so long tells us, A, they're nimble, they're adaptive, they know how to roll with the punches, as they say, because, things change. I remember when I was a classroom teacher, every year we had a new textbook. And I said to the principal, what are you guys doing? Just buying paper or what? I mean, the subjects didn't change that much. And several companies that I knew were in business then, they have either merged, been bought out, or just went out of business. So that is a good thing to see consistency, if you will, there. But I got a flyer here with all disclosure, Tai, where you are moderating a panel on African-American women school leaders next week. Why is it important for us to have a special session on African-American women school leaders?
Yeah, one of the, it's, well, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, there are so few that when I am taking on, I am a strategic person. That's how I earn my living. So I think of things like, okay, I want to show this perspective, I want to show this perspective, and I want to show this one. In doing that with the panel, I wanted to get, as I mentioned, an older, more seasoned perspective from an African-American woman. And I know a plethora of superintendents throughout the United States. Not one came to mind. And I was so unnerved by it that I started to ask other women, do you know anybody within that 65, 58 to 65 age bracket that could be on this panel? And they too were like, well, no, let me think about it. No, she's retired. Everybody's retired. So the space is such where they vacate, they vacate. They're not staying around. And then the other piece, and this is where I hold districts accountable and leadership accountable, they don't bring females who may start to gray or wrinkle or gain another freshman 15, the menopause 15, back around for an opportunity to, extend their second or third career actively. We tend to go off to a higher education environment and learn there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me be very clear. But I would like to see that any opportunity be made available for anyone at any age, and we not be rushed out a door based upon getting a bit older. I will parlay into this. Maria asked about Scholastic and the stay there and their stick-to-itness in this business place. Only from my own personal experiences, I don't speak as a spokesperson for the brand. We have people that actually do that. But my Scholastic experience as Tai Chapman has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Not because I work for the people, just because it is. We believe we have a credo. It's 100 years and 5 months, I think, in age that we are right now. Our credo, the very first line says, to cultivate their minds to the utmost capacity. That's what we do for kids, and we do it very well, from every aspect, whether it be, the world's largest publisher of children's books, whether it be from our professional learning services, whether it be from family and community engagement or digital or, books online. We do it well. And we've stayed around that time frame over 100 years because we do it well and because our leadership is profound. Literally, a father and a son. That's all that's led our company, and the chairman, Dick Robinson, is the son, and he's still there every day grinding, and learning and growing and putting together, as I said, I think passion comes from, as a leader, knowing that I don't know what I don't know, and I am willing to accept and learn and grow from other people who may know. And that means diversifying the people that surround you, you know? So we've got fresh folks, fresh out of college, you know, that are witty and wonderful and challenge you on a day-to-day basis. But we've also got seasoned vets that know the way the protocol is supposed to go. And I think that's what keeps us very rich-minded in what we see and what we produce. Are we perfect? No. But it's not about being perfect. It's about striving to. And that credo kind of just actually speaks to who we are and who we want children to be. And I will tell you all what when I started at the company, you know, I was a sales rep only. So I had a territory, it was Texas. And, you know, you all come up with your spiel on how you're going to talk to your customers or whatever. And I read the credo for the first time. And when you walk into our building in New York and you have to come visit, at some point we have to set that up when life becomes normal again. But the most magnificent thing is, throughout the carpet, there's this beautiful woven message that we stand for. And it makes you misty, because it is such a belief system that we stand by it in everything we do. It is not new. Inclusion, equity is not new to us. We were founded on it, you know, so we don't need to rush out and, you know, do all these equity initiatives and have consultants come in and stuff. We've been doing it all along, you know. Again, is it perfect? No, it is not. There's always room to grow. And because you interface with so many people on so many different levels, with so many perspectives, yes, it does become jaded. But at the very heart of things is who we are. And I think Dick Robinson stands for that. I am very proud to call him my chairman. Greg Worrell has been the president during my tenure there, and will be leaving the company in late May, but staying on to make sure that the transition with our new president, Rose Ellis Mitchell, will go smoothly. And the wonderful thing is, it's not somebody that's new. It's somebody Rose is vested. She was at the company 15 years prior, and is coming back. You know, so our thing when we found out she was going to be the person that was selected was, she's coming home, you know, because it is a family environment. And you guys know, when you spend over 12 hours a day with a group of people, they are no longer colleagues or workers or you know, they become friends and family, you know. So that's why I know when Atiba is going out to chop firewood, because I'm on the phone with him when I'm up at 4:30 in the morning and it's 5:30 his time. We can text and say, "You up?" "I'm up. Can you talk?" You know, because it's just a beautiful relationship that blossoms from it.
Yeah, you know, I've had an opportunity. It's been a blessing to be able to have chats with Dick. I mean, that, you know, it's one of those things where you only have to listen to him for a minute, and it's like, this cat gets it. Like, there's a reason why you all have been in the game. That's why I really wanted to touch upon that question, because I was just like, it just clicked, and I fell in love at that point. I'm like, this cat gets it. And
baby blues, girl. He's got the bluest, most sweetest eyes ever.
Yeah. So, so
just a very kind man.
Yeah. And that comes across so genuine. I think that's the thing, is that it's more than the words that he chooses or the way that he speaks or the way he carries himself. It's so profound that he permeates it. It's a glow. And that's the thing that I love about people, because that's the real deal. I guess that's my 2 cents on Dick.
Right. Well, let me bring it back to Tai for a minute. I cannot be a salesperson. I know you said at one point you were a sales rep, Tai, and I remember when I was retiring, and folks said, "Atiba, why don't you come and work for us?" And I said, I don't like people telling me no. So therefore I try not to ask anyone for anything. how do you feel, as in your you said earlier, fundraising as a passion, as a fundraiser for NABSE, and before doing what you're currently doing as a sales rep, and having been trained as a journalist, do you look back and say what you could have, should have done? You seem to be enjoying what you're doing. Have you missed your old job?
You know what, Atiba, honestly, I try to minimize those regrets. If I said this was my choice, that would not be true. But I think, it's beautiful when you look at the span of your life and you can say, well, oh, I know I did this to lead me to this, to lead me to this. And I can,
right.
parlay them back together. And I think, it has been a journey. It has been absolutely fabulous for the most part. There have been some humps and some bumps because I had a husband that was way too heavy and we kicked him off the train. But other than that, I will honestly tell you that everything has kind of rolled into its own purpose to make me the woman that I am. And, as far as, if I look just with what you said, because I never thought I could be a salesperson because I'm way too honest. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna tell the people don't buy this. That was my stick. If something didn't work and I didn't have any passion, I'm not gonna sell you anything. So you're dodging me. And I don't ever want anyone to feel like, or I feel like, oh my God, I can't face them. I have to go hide. So, it's been my great pleasure to be behind products that I believe in and that I've seen results happen. So I don't have to worry about that. But being a sales rep taught me the joy of having someone tell you no and tell you no on a regular basis. You get told no a heck of a lot more than you get told yes. Okay. And because of that, it gives you fortitude. And, what I do right now is more strategy. It's how to get really the rubber in the road to kind of meet up together and figure out where we need to grow and learn and develop and do things better. And so that, it kind of rolls into what I do with NABSE because it's a strategy to get people to fund things that they really should just do for the good of children. It's a strategy when we're writing grants, that are going to help fund the organization. But I think overall, there is connectivity when you're living in your purpose and when you can do that with passion, and then fuel it with a little bit of fun here and there too. And just enjoy. I have a genuine, my mother will tell you my entire life, I have a genuine love of people, and for me to get to the point to say that I do not care for someone or me to get to the point where I don't like them and I don't want to be around them, you have to really do something horrible. I am a Cancer, moon child. Genuinely, I end the call with love you, baby. How you doing, baby? That's who I am from a very genuine place. But, on the flip side of that is if you tick me off, you don't want to deal with her, So, and I have more of those extremely loving, caring, long lasting relationships than I do those that, I never want to see again in life, like the ex-husband. Yeah.
Now, see, that's an exclamation point to end on right there. It's
Like
that was,
And Atiba knew him. Atiba knew him and didn't tell me to run. What's wrong with you, dude?
Well, you know what? When you mentioned that, I have to tell you, what I saw on the screen was his eyes rolled to the back of his head.
It's a good thing Francois knows how to edit. You can edit all this stuff out.
Hold on, we have to record this all over again. Hold on, we got to record everything over again.
All right.
What we want to give you, Tai, is an opportunity to, use these last couple of minutes just to, what is it that you would like to share with people, particularly because it is Women's History Month? What would you like to leave people with?
Yeah, I think if there was just one nugget, I want people to treat each other with dignity and respect. I want people to be kind, not because, it's a good day to be kind or it's kindness week, to just be loving and kind because we as human beings deserve that, And, I try to remind people it's easy, for people to be short and just kind of crass to one another, and not really relish that we have all gone through a life-changing ordeal with COVID. Anybody that is still above ground has gone through something, So I think it's very important that we don't take it for granted. Black, white, green, polka dotted, I don't care what your politics are. I think we can at least express kindness to one another, say thank you, say please, let people know that you appreciate what they do. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever your actions are for that day, the ability to be kind and be human to mankind should never change.
And there you have it, folks. Sounds to me like that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being our guest, Tai.
Hey there, and don't forget, if you like what you hear and want to gain some more insight into what school districts are facing now, then tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. or subscribe below. We thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great night.